Okay, Lillian Navasumba, please. Thank you for joining in and thank you for being the first for this broadcast. And what you do for me is please get back to share this back to the group so that at least they know that we are here. I really wanted to get in touch with you guys. I really wanted to have some time with you to get to know you and so that we can have a good flow. Okay, so all the transformers, you are welcome. I know from time to time the gladiators and the world changers will be joining us, but all our focus, the gladiators and the world changers, all our focus now is on the transformers to be able to give them the best push that we can so that they can become who they want to become. Now, no one knows you better than anyone. No one knows you better than anyone. I'm sorry, better than you. You know yourself actually way better. All of us know what we want. And let me tell you, when I was going through the criteria of letting people into this program, I really looked at so many things, okay? Some of you might have thought it was quite random, but it wasn't random because so many people came when I had actually closed, okay? For the people that I'm still putting into the group, it's because I'm still going through the criteria, through the sieving to know who I am taking and who I am not taking. I do not want to take on anyone that is not passionate about this, that does not want this, that just wants to be here just for just. No, that is not someone that I am looking for. So if you are that kind of person, sorry to disappoint you, okay? But I was looking and I am still looking for the next intake. This intake got filled up and I have been chasing people away. I've been telling them you actually don't have a chance. This class is full and I can't take in anymore, because when you go into mentoring, yes, you can mentor so many people, but again, you have to be able to limit the numbers in order to create the impact that you want. I want to be able to hold your hand. I want to be able to respond to your messages. I want at midnight, I want to be able to respond to your questions. I want to be able to randomly think about you and send you a message. For those of you that have been with me this long, you actually know that I randomly think about you and actually send you a message to find out how are you? Is everything okay? Okay. I just love finding out whether everything okay. So that makes me feel better. That makes me feel like I know you, and it makes you feel like you are known. So in this mentoring journey, I've only taken people that are really super serious about this. There are so many that I told, you know what, I am sorry. The class is filled to capacity, and I actually started closing down way before, because if you do not go through my sieve, if you're not committed, if you're not passionate, if you're not, and some of you will even testify that I came to your inbox because you had shown interest in the first, during the first intake and during the second intake. And now from last year, you've not heard from me, but I saw the passion, I saw the yearning. And maybe it's because at that moment you were not, you had not put yourself together. At that moment you were scattered. It was going into the end of the year. So many people had so many plans. And so when I sent you a message and said, you know what, I don't want you to leave behind, it's because I saw the passion, okay? And everyone that has not been passionate about this, even if they really wanted to join, I have not let them join. So I want us to start this journey of purpose together and just do this. Good evening, Coach. Waiting. Good to have you, Lillian, and then Nasmaya. Good to have you. You're in class. Please share this live broadcast back to the group so that the rest of the group can know that we are here and we have started. Okay. And I need your questions about this course and mentorship. Some of you, not some of you, all of you are actually on the private platform where all the resources exist. Now, on top of these resources, I will actually be joining on. And KKTV Uganda, I'm also joining the class right now. Good to have you. Now, on the private platform, you have the resources. We have over 30 videos. And let me tell you, when I talk about 30 videos, for those of you that have attended any online courses, you will tell me and you will testify. And for those of you you that will ever attend any online courses. Now, this is the only course where I have over delivered and given beyond what I should actually give. Why? Because most online courses, they will go for a minimum of what? 5 hours or 3 hours or 4 hours. One, because they know the attention span, people are not really attentive. And I know that some of you are going to find that problem. If you're not that committed and so passionate about being who you want to be, you're going to find a problem. Number one, you will say, oh, the content is too much. Number two, you will say, oh, the videos, I don't know whether I will finish them. Why? Because excuses are for people that are just not committed and not passionate, okay? So if you are on this platform, you know that I call A, and B. I call a spade a spade. And what I want more than anything, I have not gotten to where I am right now because I gave excuses, because I said there was no proper arrangement, or because, when you look for excuses, you will always find excuses. When you look for excuses, you find excuses. But when you look for the matter, when you look for the core of the thing, you will always find it. Okay? So when you go to the private platform, well, to the private group, what you do on top of the either post something or what is on your mind or something like that, there is a word called sort. Now, when you go and press sort, it will give you either the current the current material, or it will give you in order of posting. Now, when you say current material, because we are many on this group, this is what you will find, that if Lavanda, for example, if Lavanda goes and likes a post or a video and comments on it, it's automatically going to come on top. And if another person goes and likes another post and comments on it, it's going to come on top. Now, that is the recent activity. Now, what you do is when you go to sort, it will give you options, recent activity or in order of posting. So you go to the second one, in order of posting. Now, when you go to in order of posting, it's going to rearrange all the material at that moment in the way they were actually posted. So that means when you go down to the group, down to the beginning, you will find from the welcome posts to the welcome videos to the units that have been created to, everything. So you can come up. The reason as to why I put you on this group is I want to be able to minimize, because this is self-paced. And when I say that a course is self-paced, is because you can actually create your own pace. This is okay. Hello, Carol, Sinje, good to have you. Okay, but when I say that this course is self-paced, is because you can actually go and create your own pace and say, okay, I am going to watch one video for the rest of the time. Okay, so every weekday, that is Monday to Friday, I'm going to watch one video, because some videos are 28 minutes, some videos are 16 minutes, some videos are 18 minutes. So this is what happens. Most of the courses, the online courses I know, they have 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 5 minutes. Because they know the attention span is actually low. But in this mentorship, I wanted to give you from the bottom of my heart everything that has made me who I am and that has actually propelled me to even where I am going to get. So I had to empty into you. I had to give you everything. So I have made it actually a very broad course. So make sure that you enjoy every little bit of every material that is on the platform. So you can say, I will watch a video every day, or I will watch 2 videos every day, because I want you to catch up. Because again, I am going to be adding on this journey that we are going to have for the next for the next weeks. I am going to be adding on material. So I don't want to add on material when you are already struggling to actually complete the material that is existent. So I want to give you time, and I want to take it, and I want to know that you are an adult. What I'm doing is I'm monitoring. For the people that like, that is why I said like and comment on every post, every video, every live session, so that I can follow your progress. The people in the past have done it so well. I think you have seen other people that have already liked and commented and, owned up the content. So make sure that you do the same, so that I know that Nabasumba has actually gone like 16 videos. and so it's okay, I can add on more videos because I know she will be able to catch up. Or Evangelista is I mean is on 20 videos. Or I can be able to just mention randomly Carol Sinje is on video number 18, or I can say Maya is on video number 30. So I know that I am adding on content, but you're already confirming the content that is already on the group. So I really wanted to get that away, because some of you, I know you would have come up with really questions. I'm confused. I don't know where to start, what to do, but all this material, let me tell you, go and devour it, go and bump into it, go and watch everything, and make sure that you take your notes. That is very important. Take your notes, because at the end of the day, the tests that I will give you are all going to come from the notes or the videos that you have watched. So make sure that you watch all the videos and even all the live sessions. Okay, so I wanted us to talk about purpose, and tonight we're not going to be here for too long. We're going to be here just for 30 minutes. So I wanted us to talk about purpose and talk about passion. And there's a post I put up and say that, you know what, I think purpose found me. And the reason as to why purpose found me is because I said yes. For me, I did not start this industry by sitting down and thinking and saying, what is my purpose? What should I do? You know, what I did not start like that. For me, it was a weird story. For those of you that have watched all the live sessions and or some live sessions and the videos, you will know my story, because I really put myself out there without any fear of judgment. I'm being vulnerable with you on this course. So the way I started was pretty much saying yes to everything that was thrown at me. And while I felt there was something more that I needed to do, I didn't know what it was. And I know that most of us have been in that place. Okay, so as a young girl, I mean, I don't have money to go to school. I'm thrown back into Kayunga. I started, working in a shop, and then after that, I'm thinking, you know what? In order for me to create any future, I'm not going to die in a shop. I'm not going to, do this forever. My siblings need to go to school. My family needs to feed. I need to be able to stand up and support myself. I need something more, and so I decided to come back to town. So I decided to come back to town. I decided to enroll back into university. I don't know what I'm going to do, but I know that there is something that is quite inviting for me, because if anyone told me that, I remember Tim telling me that, you know what, I think you can do finance, because by then, I mean, he had a company and he thought I would work in that company. For those of you that don't know, Tim is my husband, but then he was not yet my husband. He was my best friend. So but he told me that, you know what, you can do finance, accounting and finance. You can always work in the company. And so I would have said that, oh, you know what, there is a readily available job. People go to school without jobs, but here I am, I'm sure that I'm going to get a job. Why don't I do this? When I got to the blackboard, or I mean, the notice board, actually, I saw different courses, and my heart was pulled out to guidance and counseling. And let me tell you, I will say the truth as it is. I didn't know that guidance and counseling is actually a career. I just didn't know that. I didn't know, and I didn't even ask. I didn't go to someone to tell, you know what, now in Uganda, guidance and counseling, is it a career? Is it marketable? Is it, because one, my parents didn't know anything to do with education. So the people around me, everyone was minding their business. I was I was an introvert. Tim is not telling me to do finance, but again, he's telling me, follow your heart. Okay, so I went and actually registered for guidance and counseling. Now, this is me telling you that sometimes you have to say multiple yeses to different things in order to know what your calling is, what your purpose is, and what your niche is. Now, I went into guidance and counseling very raw, and I didn't know anything. And I didn't know any counselor in Kampala. I didn't know any coach in Kampala. I didn't know anyone, no motivational speaker, no one. Okay, so I went in and started to study, and definitely what you study is really too shallow. You're studying about insurance. You're studying about, at some point we did fine art. I even don't know who creates these curriculums in university. But one thing, there was nothing as touching. Okay. But this is what happened. When I got to my second year and I didn't have a job, I was really broke and broken. Like I completely had nothing. And this is when the turnaround of my life really starts. And when I decided to make a covenant with myself and said, you know what, enough is enough. I cannot stay in this dungeon for all this while. I'm going to go out and look for a job. So I go out in search for a job, and then I bump into this. It's a friend of mine. He's called Dan, and so he tells me what I'm doing. I tell him I'm doing guidance and counseling. So he's a white person, and he tells me, "Oh, that is so huge in America. That's so huge. The counselors, therapists, and coaches. Oh, they're making a lot of money because every institution needs that. Are you really passionate about it?" I was like, "Yes, I am passionate about it." If you asked me about passion, even if you had beaten me, I don't know. I didn't know what passion was. But I was like, yeah, I love it. And so he was like, okay, so if you love it, I have a radio station. Can you be able to create 2 minutes of just simple things, advising people, counseling people, just create 1 minute or 2 minutes of just simple, things to advise people. And I can give you some airtime on radio, just 2 minutes. So I went into the production studio. I even did, because no one had done this. I went into the production studio, started recording. So definitely the producer showed me what to do. I came with my content. I came with my motivational tips. I came with, so I started recording. And then soon or later, he's telling me, okay, so we have to attach your name and then we have to mention your number so that people can call you. Do you see how a brand starts? It is saying yes. Now, for those of us that responded to this mentorship, you said yes to something that you will never know, that in 5 years or 10 years, you are never going to be the same person ever again. Okay? You are going to look at yourself and say, how did I get here? How is it that I can be invited globally, okay, in other countries? How is it that I can be invited on the prominent TVs to give my view of something? How is it possible that I am launching books every year? How is it possible that I have started an NGO, or I have started how is it possible? You are going to ask yourself the same question. So I say yes, I start recording, and they start playing them thrice in a day. In the morning, 2 minutes, in the afternoon, 2 minutes, and in the night, 2 minutes. And I started getting people calling me, apparently. As raw as I was, people would call me, and then I would talk to them on phone, and then I would help them on phone. And that is where they was like, okay, now you're doing so well. I think it's really doing well. So can you do 1 hour in the night? And that 1 hour, it was around 10 to 11. I'm a young girl, still at campus. Definitely, I've gone back when I am mature. I am 28. I'm studying with 19-year-olds. Now, because most people, when they see, actually, when they see me, they think maybe I've had the simplest of lives. I think I've had the hardest of life. But again, I am glad that I had the hardest of life, because I've had to push myself more than anyone ever pushed themselves. Okay, so I start doing, definitely I don't have transport. You can't ask for transport, but I show up every weekday, and it was Wednesday. Every Wednesday I would show up 10 to 11 in the night. I would be on radio, and so people would call, people would ask questions, and so after that. That is when NTV noticed me. And when NTV noticed me, I remember it was Hatma who first called me. So Hatma calls me, and I remember Farida had gone for a leave. So Hatma calls me. I go in. I don't know whether she was listening to radio, but she told me, you know what, I've listened to you on radio, and so many people have recommended you. People have been calling and saying, why don't you host Bahati? Why don't you host Bahati? So please come to the show. I went for